Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiv Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. So continuing with the discussion, Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 18, the battle between Lord Bor and the demon Hiranyaksha. Text number 6 onwards. Satudyamano aridurukta tomarer dashtragranga gamaplakshya bhitam taudam rishan niragad ambudhyada graha hataha sakrenur yatebha. Although the Lord was pained by the shaft-like abusive words of the demon, he bore the pain. But seeing that the earth on the ends of his tusks was frightened, he rose out of the water just as an elephant emerges with its female companion when assailed by an alligator. The Mayavadi philosopher cannot understand that the Lord has feelings. The Lord is satisfied if someone offers him a nice prayer. And similarly, if someone decries his existence or calls him by ill names, God is dissatisfied. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is decried by the Mayavadi philosophers, who are almost demons. They say that God has no head, no form, no existence, and no legs, hands, or other bodily limbs. In other words, they say that he is dead or lame. All these misconceptions of the Supreme Lord are a source of dissatisfaction to him. He is never pleased with such atheistic descriptions. In this case, although the Lord felt sorrow from the piercing words of the demon, he delivered the earth for the satisfaction of the demigods, who are ever his devotees. The conclusion is that God is as sentient as we are. He is satisfied by our prayers and dissatisfied by our harsh words against him. In order to give protection to his devotee, he is always ready to tolerate insulting words from the atheists. So the verse says that the Lord was pained by the shaft-like abusive words of the demon, Hiranyaksha, all the nonsense things he was saying about the Lord. But because the earth was getting little afraid, worried, scared of Hiranyaksha, Lord thought, let me put her back in the orbit first. And Prabhupada just concentrated his purport to the feelings of the Lord. The Mayavadi philosophers, they cannot understand because they don't have this kind of mercy of the Lord, that they understand the Lord has feelings also. Lord has limbs. Lord has everything that we have in pure way, and the feelings. Lord is satisfied when somebody offers him a nice prayer. Satisfied means he has feelings, emotions. He's happy and he's sad also. There's so many feelings he has. And he's not at all happy with the words or the philosophy of Mayavadis, where they say, Lord has no hands, no legs, no form, no existence, nothing. He doesn't like it. And Lord is so merciful. Here Prabhupada says he does not like harsh words of the demons or the people or who have no relationship with him. But still, people who have loving relationship with him, he loves their harsh words, especially the gopis. Gopis treat Krishna. I mean, of course, they love him, but look at the words, look at how they talk to him, and he loves it. And his cowherd boyfriends, they sometimes say, Because Krishna and Balram, whenever they play, they are always on the opposite side because they want to keep the sides, both the sides, balanced. So Krishna, when he's caught cheating in the games, and normally he does, he forgets he's God and he cheats. So that so the cowherd boys they catch him and then they say, "We are not going to play with you. We're not going to let you play with us. Not we are going to play with you. We're not going to let you play with us. You cheat so much. So go away." And teases him, and then Nanda Baba is fair in color. Yashoda Maya is fair. How come you are black? So you are not their son. I am their son. And their feelings, their emotion, their love, reciprocation, everything is there. But Mayavadis, they cannot understand. Those who are not devotees, they definitely cannot understand. They have no idea. How can Lord has feelings? He's not rock, he's not stone. Even the deity form, I mean, why should I say, even the deity form, of the Lord, he has all the feelings. You just have to have the eyes anointed with love for God to reciprocate with those feelings. And especially those pujaris who do and dress him, they know, they all have first hand experience. The Lord has feelings. Many times, or many times, it happens that you take out some jewelry and put it in the plate. You take out from jewelry from the cabinet behind and you put it in the plate and you bring it to the altar because you have to dress the deities. And if the deities they don't want that particular jewelry, even if it is in the plate, you will not see it because he doesn't want. Or if even if you try to put it on him, he will throw it away. He will throw it in the sense it will fall down. It will keep on falling down. Then you understand he doesn't want it. Get something else. That is the feeling. That's how we reciprocate. Of course, we are not at that level that he's going to hold our hand and tell us or maybe slap us, "Don't go, get something else. I don't want this today." But this is how he reciprocates lovingly, very lovingly with his devotees. And see, in the end, Prabhupada is saying, he's always ready to tolerate insulting words from the atheist for to give protection to his devotees. Just like in the war of Mahabharata also, he tolerated the words from Bhishma Dev. Of course, Bhishma Dev is also his devotee, but Bhishma Dev was going to kill Arjuna, and he told Krishna, either you break your promise, you break your vow today, that you're not going to pick up a weapon, or I'm going to kill Arjuna today. So to protect Arjuna's life, to protect Bhishma's vow, he broke his vow. That is Krishna. That is the Supreme Lord. So we want to have a relationship with him. So we have to respect his feelings and then we develop our feelings towards him. Tam nisarantam saliladanudhrito hiranyakeshu dviraradam yatha jasha karala danshto ashani nisvano abravid gat hikim tvasatam vigarhitam. The demon who had golden hair on his head and fearful tusks gave chase to the Lord while he was rising from the water, even as an alligator would chase an elephant. Roaring like thunder, he said, "Are you not ashamed of running away before a challenging adversary? There is nothing reproachable for shameless creatures." When the Lord was coming out of the water, taking the earth in his arms to deliver it, the demon derided him with insulting words, but the Lord did not care because he was very conscious of his duty. For a dutiful man, there is nothing to fear. Similarly, those who are powerful have no fear of derision or unkind words from an enemy. The Lord had nothing to fear from anyone, yet he was merciful to his enemy by neglecting him. Although apparently he fled from the challenge, it was just to protect the earth from calamity that he tolerated Hiranyaksha's deriding words. That just to protect the earth and to put her back in the orbit, he just tolerated the words for a while. And look at Hiranyaksha. He's saying, are you not ashamed of running away before a challenging adversary? There is nothing reproachable for shameless creatures. Oh. गामुदस्तात् सलिलस्य गोचरे वन्यस्य तस्यां दधात्स्व सत्वम् अभिष्टुतो विश्वसृजा प्रसूनेर् आपूर्यमाणो विबुधः पश्यतो अरेः. The Lord placed the earth within his sight on the surface of the water and transferred to her his own energy in the form of the ability to float on water. While the enemy is still looking on, Brahma, the creator of the universe, extolled the Lord, and the other demigods rained flowers on him. Those who are demons cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of God had floated the earth on water. But to devotees of the Lord, this is not a very wonderful act. Not only the earth, but many, many millions of planets are floating in the air, and this floating power is endowed upon them by the Lord. There is no other possible explanation. In fact, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that because of my energy, all the planets are floating in the air. The materialists can explain that the planets are floating by the law of gravitation, but the law of gravitation works under the control or direction of the Supreme Lord. That is a version of Bhagavad Gita. So law of gravitation is just a name given to the energy or to the force that is there. And that force actually belongs to the Supreme Lord. That is a version of Bhagavad Gita which confirms by the Lord's statement that behind the material laws or nature's laws and behind the growth, maintenance, production, and evolution of all the planetary systems, behind everything is the Lord's direction. The Lord's activities can be appreciated only by demigods, headed by Brahma. And therefore, when they saw the uncommon prowess of the Lord in keeping the earth on the surface of the water, they showered flowers on him in appreciation of his transcendental activity. See the difference between demigods and the demons. Demigods, headed by Brahma, they are appreciating the Lord's activities, Lord's prowess, and they're showering flowers on him. And the demon, on the other hand, he is saying, you're running away from me. You don't have courage. You just, you're amphibious beast and this and that, whatever names he called. Pranushaktam tapaniya upakalpam mahagadam kanchan chitradansham marmani abhikshanam pratudantam drukta prachandamanyu prahasanstam babhashe. The demon who had a wealth of ornaments, bangles, and beautiful golden armor on his body chased the Lord from behind with the great mace. The Lord tolerated his piercing ill words, but in order to reply to him, he expressed his terrible anger. The Lord could have chastised the demon immediately while the demon was deriding the Lord with ill words, but the Lord tolerated him to please the demigods and to show that they should not be afraid of demons while discharging their duties. Therefore, his toleration was displayed mainly to drive away the fears of the demigods, who should know that the Lord is always present to protect them. The demon's derision of the Lord was just like the barking of dogs. The Lord did not care about it, since he was doing his own work in delivering the earth from the midst of the water. Materialistic demons always possess large amounts of gold in various shapes, and they think that a large amount of gold, physical strength, and popularity can save them from the wrath of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the demon Hiranyaksha, he was wearing all kinds of gold. And Hiranya means gold actually. And so the demons like this, but but the Lord, he he gave protection to Mother Earth, and he just drove away the fears of demigods. But don't be worried about this demon. Don't care. I'm going to take care of it. Shri Bhagwan Vacha. Now Lord Varahadev is going to speak to Hiranyaksha. First, he has to give some verbal fight, and then the battle will begin. Satyam vayam bhuvan gochara mriga yushmad vidhan mrige grama singhan namrityu pasha pratimuktasya vira vikathanam natav granti abhadra. The personality of God had said, "Indeed, we are creatures of the jungle, and we are searching after hunting dogs like you. One who is freed from the entanglement of death has no fear from the loose talk in which you are indulging, for you are bound up by the laws of death." Demons and atheistic persons can go on insulting the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they forget that they are subjected to the laws of birth and death. They think that simply by decrying the existence of the Supreme Lord or defying his stringent laws of nature, one can be freed from the clutches of birth and death. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that simply by understanding the transcendental nature of God, one can go back to Godhead. But demons and atheistic persons do not try to understand the nature of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, they remain in the entanglement of birth and death. So the Lord told his demon Hiranyaksha that one who is freed from the entanglement of death means people like us, spiritual people. We have no fear from loose talks in which you are indulging, for you are bound up by the laws of death. See, the fear arises because we have a body different from the soul. And everybody loves his body. We don't want to lose this body. Means we don't want to die. A person who has no difference between body and soul, what's going to happen to him? Nothing can happen to him. Similarly, the devotees actually, their body, those devotees who are at that level, their bodies are completely spiritualized, even though it looks material. Just like Srila Prabhupada. So his body was completely spiritual. So he had no fear, none. Although physically, if we look at, he was a short man, 5 foot some inches, not too tall. But because of his surrender on the Lord, because of his spiritual status, because of his exalted position spiritually, he was not afraid of anything. That's why his name was given Abhay. Abhay Charan was name given by his parents, and Abhay Charanarvind was name given by his spiritual master. He had taken complete shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he had complete faith, fully surrendered. So nothing to fear. That's why there's a bhajan, na? Bhajahu Remana Shri Nandanandan Abhay Charna Ravindare. One who does bhajan of Nanda Nandan, one who worships the lotus feet of Krishna, He has nothing to fear in this material world. But those who don't, they have everything to be worried about. And this is what Prabhupada is writing. Demons and atheistic persons do not try to understand the nature of Supreme Lord, therefore they remain in the entanglement of birth and death. And in this world, the fear will be there. Material world means full of fear. Ete vayam nyashararasokasam gadhi gadya dravitaste tishtham mahethapi kathan chidado stheyam kvayam balinot padyaveram. Certainly we have stolen the charge of the inhabitants of Rasatal and have lost all shame. Although bitten by your powerful mace, I shall stay here in the water for some time, because having created enmity with a powerful enemy, I now have no place to go. The demon should have known that God cannot be driven out of any place, for he is all-pervading. Demons think of their possessions as their property, but actually everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who can take anything at any time he likes. So Lord Varahadev is basically making fun of him, saying, I shall stay here in the water for some time because I have created enmity with a powerful enemy like yours. So now I have no place to go. He's kind of making fun of him. But Prabhupada says he cannot be driven out of any place because he's everywhere. He's present everywhere. Just like once Akbar asked this question to Birbal, he asked him, who is greater, me or your Krishna? So Birbal, after thinking for a while, he replied, Maharaj Akbar, you're greater. You're greater than Krishna because you can do something even Krishna cannot. And Akbar was surprised. Akbar was like, what are you talking about, Birbal? He's your Allah, he's your supreme God. And you're saying I'm greater than him? Birbal said, yes, my lord, yes. Akbar said, how? How do you explain this? How do you prove this? Birbal said, well, Maharaj Akbar, something that you can do, but he cannot do. Maharaj Akbar, what is it? Birbal said, you can drive somebody away from your kingdom, drive somebody out of your kingdom, but he cannot. Because everywhere is his kingdom. Where would anybody go? Spiritual world, material world, everything is in his kingdom. There's nothing beyond it anyway. So he cannot kick anybody out of his kingdom. All he can do is send him from spiritual to material world or material to spiritual world. But this whole thing is his kingdom. It's just a different way of explaining, a different way of understanding. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for this beautiful class. A lot of things we learned about the greatness of God.
Yeah.
Akbar Birbal story is always, very interesting.
Yep, and very informative.
Yeah, very, very true. There's some very beautiful points in a very humorous way and clever way put.
Chalo, so we stop here. You all have a wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Jai
Prabhu.
Srila Prabhupada.